Hey guys, welcome to another edition of our Friday night Randall County Republican headquarters podcast. We are here tonight with Blair Schaffer. He's running for county commissioner in Potter County. How you doing tonight, Blair?
I'm doing real good, everybody. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, we're so glad. I know you've been campaigning and doing all your things. What are some highlights that you've seen as you go out in the neighborhood and to the parks and to some of these events? What are some?
Just going out and getting to talk to the people one-on-one, hearing what some of their concerns are, whether it deals with safety or lowering taxes if possible, and just talking to the people and hearing their concerns.
Good. How long have you been attached to that community?
I've been attached to the community extremely long time. I've been working in that area for 16 years now. I've been living in that community for 10 years now.
I see. You went to school over in that area, is that correct?
Close. I went to school over on the north side, so I went to Hamlet Elementary School, went to junior high at Horseman, and then graduated from Palo Duro.
Alrighty. What are some things that you see that you could cultivate in the community of, where the boulevard's at, where Grand is, your area there, East Ridge, and also back this way? I guess it goes all the way to 29th, right?
Correct.
What are some opportunities that you can see that you could cultivate over there?
I think there's a lot of opportunity over there. It's just about bringing the community together, getting the word out when stuff does happen, whether it's at the city level or the county level, school events, whatever it is, just letting people know what's going on so that they can attend, so they can come, enjoy whatever's happening or express their concerns or just participate in whatever the activity might be.
All right, good. Let me take a look at something here. Okay. What are some items that are primed as of like day one when you get the nod and you're there at your desk? What are some items that you see that are already set to be primed that you would like to work on?
One of the main things is just bringing in new industry and businesses to the community. Potter County and Amarillo has been fairly decent at doing that. And I want to continue that and keep bringing in new industries and new businesses.
Now, I can't remember the last time that we had a Republican at all in that area. What makes you the guy?
I've got business experience. I've been in service my whole life since I've graduated from high school, whether it was in the military, working out at TDCJ. My businesses that I own revolve around service. And this is just a continuation in a different type of form and way that I can serve.
And how long have you been married?
9 years.
9 years, okay. Any children?
Not together, but yes, I have a boy, and then my wife has 2 kids.
Okay.
Got 9 grandkids.
Tell us a little bit about what you know about the position are you attending,
I've been attending the commissioner's court since last September. When the seat came open, I started attending the commissioner courts then. I've been going to them every, twice a month since then.
I see. What are some things that you would like to, are there some areas there that you could really see some items or particulars that you could really pounce on?
I think so. Just looking at it from the business aspect, I think we can start bringing in technology more in some areas, transparency, communicating with the public. Because there's so many people that don't know what a county commissioner does. They don't know anything about a commissioner's court, and just bringing that to the public and just updating the county so that people know what's going on. Because unfortunately in today's world, people don't watch the evening news. They don't go pick up a newspaper anymore, and they don't even know that exists. And
I see.
So just bringing that open to the people and being more visible so that people can get engaged, because people want to engage, but if they don't know, they can't engage. So just being more open and public and reaching more people.
What are some things that you've been hearing as you campaign that people would like to, do they want dramatic change? Is it subtleties? Is it street lights? What are we looking at?
Most people, I think, are subtle. They want your safety and security. So again, we're looking at your sheriff's office, your fire department out in Potter County. They're wanting, to keep taxes as low as possible, and I'm for that myself. Use the budget that you have, see where you can make cuts at, and what you have, try to go make it as far as you can.
Alrighty. And what's the ledger look like? What budget are we looking at
This year, they were looking at about $70 million, and they're talking about possibly raising taxes up to 3.5%. Because if it goes over that, then they have to take it to a public vote. Right now, all that's still in discussion, so they can lower it. But right now, they had the budget set at the 3.5% increase.
Okay, so 70 million, that's just for that precinct, that area, right? I mean,
Well,
or
that's
is that
for the whole county.
That's for the entire
That's for
Potter
the
County.
entire Potter
Do
County.
they have a setting there where they partition it out for particular
No,
areas?
it's basically partitioned out per department. So your courts are going to get a certain amount, your constables are going to get a certain amount, your judges will, road and bridge will get a certain amount, sheriff's department and jail will get a certain amount, county fire department, your county clerk. So each department has a budget that's set.
Okay. Do you have a top tier in your mind's eye of what some items there where you would need to really navigate in a manner that is definitely something where you couldn't make cuts?
I think you can always look at something and make it better. That cuts are always possible, but you also want to make sure that when you are cutting, that you don't take away needed services.
Sure.
And so you got to have your sheriff and fire department. They need what they need. Sometimes we can raise the budget. Sometimes we don't want to raise the budget for them individually, but you need to take a close look at it and look at it line by line item. Do we need this? Yes or no? Do we need this? Yes or no? Make those decisions. And the same way with the courts, you got your judges, your DA, your prosecutors. What are their budgets at? What do they need in order to keep the judicial system moving along?
What can we do to add and increase that budget? Is it 70 million? Does sales tax play a role in that? I mean, how can we increase
sales
the
tax
budget?
Your property taxes. So one of the best ways to do that is there again by bringing in new business. So we don't have to raise the tax rate or tax the individual more because you're bringing in more population. So if you're bringing more population, then your taxes will collect more taxes because there's more people. You can get so much work with one person, but many hands make light work.
Sure.
It's the same way with this. You got more people bringing money in, more that you can do.
Now, I know that you've already spoke with the recently elected Warren Coble.
Yes.
That's over place 4. You say that budget is $70 million for the entire county. Have you brainstormed with him to just get some collective ideas?
We have talked a little bit, but we hadn't had any in-depth conversations yet.
I see.
Right now I don't have my hands. I'm going to the court meetings and learning and gathering information there, but I don't have a lot of the back room information with the actual data and the numbers to look at them myself.
Right. So, Tim or Travis, do you guys have any kind of questions that you might want to ask real quick?
Yeah, I think that but it keeps flipping on and off. One of the things that will help is how do you feel about city parks and things like that? Things that the kids can do to keep them occupied and out of the street.
I would definitely support that. That's one thing that, unfortunately, the county doesn't have that much to do with the street clubs. Maybe that kids live in safe places that are lit up so that they can't play, so they can't have children there. It's a place to go to together, whether it's for a birthday party, graduation party, whatever it happens to be, or just, a safe place to play after school and run off some energy before it's done bedtime. And that can be done. And there again, it's going to the community and asking them what they need and where they need it at, and then working together with them to make sure that it gets built or provided.
And find that the city would be amenable to listening to what suggestions you make?
I think it would be, and more of that is just finding the correct person to talk to, and then having open communication, and just being able to relay the information to the correct people, so that that stuff can be looked at. And a lot of times, there again, as a county commissioner, not that I have more access than the general person, but it's just having the knowledge of who to go talk to get the ball rolling and get that open communication moving throughout the departments and the people that are concerned, and that's what they're looking for.
What are the parameters of your precinct?
So we're looking at about 29th Street, which is just like the Capital High School, going down to go all the way north to the St. Francis area, it's blue, and then it starts at the top of 10th Street, and it goes east to the northeast side of the
Could you ask that question once again, Tim? Because I think he was muted. So the boundary areas for precinct 2, you're starting out there about Caprock High School, which is on 29th Street, and it goes all the way north towards St. Francis. Then we start about Buchanan Street and head east toward the loop. So you're looking at the northeast side of Amarillo. Let's see. One big question out there is taxes. How do you envision how you could keep that corralled to where you could still grow and introduce different ideas into the community, but also have it tamed to the extent where it's not really digging in too deep into people's pockets?
Right. Well, keeping it low as possible, but also when you're dealing with the budget, it's just like if you have a budget at your house, you can have so much for groceries, you can have so much for your power, and then this is what you have that you can move to the different areas. It's the same way at this bigger level. Just like with the business, I have to have this, and this. You get your major items taken care of. And then after your major items are taken care of, then you move into the smaller items and make sure that they're supported. But it's keeping it low. It's looking at each line item and do we need this? Yes or no? Can we improve this? Is there some technology that we can bring in that'll make it more affordable? Is it something that we can bring in that'll make it more efficient? Is it bringing in a person to this department because the workload's not getting done because things are getting bogged down and taking way too long? Would one more person in this make it move along faster and therefore making it more efficient?
I see.
And get more stuff done?
Well, you were mentioning a little earlier that working with some city folks, I noticed that you did get an endorsement from Cole Stanley.
Yes.
And so I think that's a really good endorsement. Cole's been really fashioned and established in being a man of sound character. So I think that's a really huge endorsement. And so how did you come about? Did you just talk to him or?
Yes, going to different meeting places and, just eventually, because to begin with, before he ran for city council, I didn't know who he was. I just knew he was a local businessman.
Mm-hmm.
So just started meeting him at different events, sitting down there, having conversations with him, and just getting to know him on a personal level just by talking to him at events.
Okay, I see. Travis, you have any questions, sir?
Yeah, you really covered a lot of things I was going to ask. I'm here with Kelly Giles, 123 Precinct here. Kelly, do you have any questions?
What could you kind of give us an overview of what industries are already in Potter County and what type of industries you think that potentially could be brought into Potter County that would complement what's already there?
Okay, so right now we have your wind turbines, you have Benny Keith, you have Coca-Cola, all out in the complex. Of course, you got the prison out there. We just got the new Amazon facility built. We're looking at bringing in the rare earth mineral facility, which will have really good paying jobs. Also, the new beef packing plant that'll be coming in. It's a co-op and owned by people within Texas. And then also you got a new aerospace company coming in, and they'll be building 2 hangars there by Bell Helicopter. So, here in Amarillo, because of our train system, because of I-40, 287, we're really good and set up for transportation. We're in the middle of the United States. So if you're going from East Coast to West Coast, we're right here. If you're going from Canada to Mexico, we're right here. So we're set up for transportation. We got the airport, which has the 5th largest airport in the United States as far as the runway. So we can land anything here. And that's, I think, a big, big plus. And that's the reason why we have Bell Helicopter and we're getting the new aerospace area. We have our schools here with Emerald College and WT that provide, and Texas Tech also, that provide a lot of schooling for the industries that are coming in, so that they can train local people to start taking over these jobs that we're bringing in.
That was a good question, Kelly. Thank you for asking it. One thing I see that moves west quite a bit here in Amarillo are the restaurants. We have the Big Texan on the east side, but when you want to go eat over there on that side of town, they're more inundated in the community.
Right.
Have you ever brainstormed of how we could maybe get some restaurants built more on the east side off of I-40?
That's challenging. If you're looking at your mom and pop type restaurants, it's just looking at the capital to get something like that started. Your franchises, just knowing the correct people, getting to them, but they're going to look at what's my population around me. Are these the people that are going to be supporting us? There again, with I-40 and 287 coming in on the east side of town, we do have a lot of traffic coming into Amarillo. We do have Cracker Barrel over there that gets a lot of traffic. You got your IHOP. Like I said, we don't have any big restaurants over in that area that are chain restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we have mostly is your smaller mom and pop type locations. And there's some great food there, but like I said, it would be nice to have some larger capacity restaurants over on the east side of town.
Well, something that I see is the reason why there's more going west is just they're more connected to things to do in the city. Hopefully we could, get some type of monies to places like Eastridge Bowl and whatnot. That place is very historic. I mean, it's been here for, I want to say 60 years.
Right. It's been a long time. I don't know how long. And every time I go out there, they do have quite a bit of people out there, but it's just there again, it's letting people know that it exists. Because a lot of people, they see the big flashy lights somewhere else, and that's what they go to.
Yeah, what I can see you
What's
doing,
shiny and new, so that's where they go.
and what I can see you implementing, because I've heard you talk before about the Route 66,
Yes.
and do something to where it's based around that type of core concept, core idea. I mean, that would be an amazing situation to start to implement those Route 66. Tell us some ideas that you've had over that, because I've heard you speak on
So
that.
Route 66 is a very big. So the 100-year anniversary of Route 66 is going to be here in 2026. So it's just around the corner. So you're just going to be getting a lot of attention through media, through movies. It was the Mother Road, connecting all the way from Chicago to basically LA. And a lot of it's become I-40 along the way, but it's still, it's all.
Yeah.
And especially here in Amarillo, a lot of Route 66 has been forgotten. We have 6th Street, which is pretty nice, and we definitely need to support. You got a lot of mom and pop shops down there, and that's where a lot of the travelers go through. But you're also looking at Emerald Boulevard into downtown, then to 6th Street, to 9th Street, and then back to Emerald Boulevard.
Right.
So Emerald Boulevard runs through all 4 precincts in Potter County. And also Emerald Boulevard on the east side, you're looking at Highway 60, Business I-40, Route 66, and Emerald Boulevard. So it's basically 4 streets within one. And it needs a lot of love over in that area on the east side, because it just hasn't got any attention in a very long time.
Is that something that you'd like to propose maybe in a grant perhaps and see if we couldn't get, I don't know,
Well,
$5-6 million to
yeah, something
renovate.
to just, you're looking at lighting over there has been outdated. Just the road surface and edges, your sidewalks almost non-existent in a lot of those areas. Because people don't realize how many travelers we do have on Route 66. And that's one thing Amarillo hasn't done very well is keep them here for that day. Most people are coming through Amarillo and they're staying the night, and then they're moving on toward Albuquerque and going west, or coming here and going to Oklahoma City. So they're staying the night, but we're not doing good enough on capturing them and getting them to go to the local shops, go to local places around here where they got things to do, whether it's Wonderland, going to Palo Duro Canyon, going to the museum down in Canyon. They were just staying overnight, which is good, but it could be a lot better.
So what I hear coming from you is that as a commissioner, you would start to harvest these ideas to keep folks implanted here for maybe 3 to 4 days, make it the place to go
Correct.
for a tourist, and maybe start writing grants to see if maybe the state could say, hey, look, these are some really good ideas.
Correct.
And get the city behind you. So I think those are some really good ideas.
Right. Working with the city, working with the community, and working with the county, all three, and then bringing in the bigger government, the state or national government, to help fund the development, the revitalization of those areas.
And I can see it as a definite one hand washes the other concept, because once you start bringing in those revenue dollars, then you can start saturating that out into the community and start making those areas, look a lot nicer. And then all of a sudden, voila, the whole community is flourishing.
Right. And, it kind of goes, even little steps make a difference. So crime doesn't like light. So come into the neighborhood, get street lights put in. Same way, if it's beautiful, you probably don't have the bum just sitting there hanging out on the corner, panhandling nearly as much.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nice, keep it moving. And little steps, just beautification, lighting, new curbs, sidewalks, all that goes a long ways in helping the community and bringing safety to it, and items like that.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited, and it almost sounds as if you have a rancher. I mean, I looked at Kelly when I said rancher, like gardener mentality. It sounds like some of these ideas are coming from your natural ability to plant seeds,
right,
and to give growth. And so, is there something to that?
Well, I just think it all starts right there in the community. It starts there, and you have to grow it. You have to basically put it in the ground, cover it up with the dirt, and then watch it sprout up out of it.
Do you garden?
I do garden.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
I have a 10,000 square foot market garden that I run.
All right, and that's out at Jericho, right? Tell us something about Jericho.
So Jericho's a little ghost town. It was officially founded in 1902. Before that, it was a stagecoach stop between Clarendon, going up to Fort Elliott, where Old Mobeedy's at. Had Rock Island Railroad running through it. Its heydays were about 1930. We had school, a couple of mercantile stores, 2 hotels, railroad station through there, and the Route 66 was built there in 1926. But then in 1934, they moved Route 66 because what was called the Jericho Gap, which was part of the road between Jericho and where Allen Reed is at now. It just whenever it got wet and muddy, it would just get super soppy, sink your vehicles down, couldn't get them out. They'd have to use horse-drawn carriages or horse teams to pull the vehicles out. Yeah. So that's the reason they moved it in 1934. And then between the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, and then moving Route 66, the little town just started dwindling and lost half its population by 1939.
I see.
And then by 1955, they officially closed the post office, and technically it was no longer a town then.
So let me see if I have this straight. You go out to Jericho, you start to rebuild it, do all these things, and you did that all on your own steam, on your own idea. And it sounds to me that you're primed to be a commissioner. I mean, you already have some of the particulars here to help you, but to decide to go out to Jericho and do this all on your own sweat equity, I'm pretty impressed, because you didn't have to do anything like that. You and your wife decided to get out there and meet the road where the tire is and start putting in time, energy,
Yes.
effort. Guys, I can't imagine. I'm out of the screen, and that's okay. I can't imagine what he's going to be able to do for your county as your commissioner. I've known Blair for some time, and we never really spoke about this.
Right.
And I'm sitting here thinking that you're doing everything a commissioner is going to be doing, but with money.
Yeah. Without the manpower, without the money.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you chose to go up to Jericho and say, "Hey, Blanca, what do you think?" And y'all are getting it done, aren't y'all?
We're getting it done little by little. And, that's one thing I can say, whoever, is around me, you're not going to outwork me.
Wow, I'm impressed.
That's just one thing that's not going to happen. I put in the work. I like studying. I like examining, and I like getting my hands dirty and diving in.
This is your guy, Potter County. Travis, you were raising your hand over there across the way. I don't know if you have to go to the bathroom or not.
We have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is a little politically sensitive, but I think it's a fair question. So the mayor of Amarillo has recently been quoted as being in favor of some red flag gun control laws, and being receptive and open to them. What do you think about gun control in Potter County, and what's your position?
Well, luckily the Potter County Commission doesn't have much to do on the gun control, but personally, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe it shouldn't be infringed at any right or level. I carry myself. I can still carry almost every day. And I believe every citizen should have that right, and it shouldn't be infringed upon at any level. I don't believe red flag laws would work. And I don't think anybody should be able to come in and take your firearms of any type without a due process and bring it in the judicial system and having you're innocent until proven guilty.
So the Constitution means a lot to you.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, I think that we've covered quite a bit. I would like for Blair to sound off and look out there into the future voters. That's coming up November 8th.
November 8th will be the final vote. Early voting starts October 24th through November 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then election day is November 8th.
So sound off and sell your case to the people that are going to be watching this.
I'd love to earn your vote. I'll be having meet and greets. You can go to my website, any of my social media sites, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on all of those. I love questions. You can inbox me. You can call me. My phone number is available on my website. You can send me emails. I love communication, and I'd love to hear your concerns and just move forward from there.
Well, thank you for your time, Blair. Kelly, Travis, and Tim, thank you guys for coming on for a few minutes. We're here at the Randall Republican Party headquarters here at 3219 South Commerce. Our phone number here is 806-359-1606. Come in, give us a phone call. We'd love to get you registered to vote and whatever else it takes to get you guys stimulated to get out and serve your civil duty. Love you guys. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a great night.
Bye, y'all.